Hello ladies and gentlemen, it is Cumley here, and I'm here to bring you Game 2 of the QQ Ninja RedditHoN Amateur Open League of Awesomeness. Today we have Team ELMO, Tickle Me Elmo, going up against TIRL, which is Tanks in Real Life. We just saw Game 1, we saw TIRL take it quite convincingly with their amazing Malakin tri-lane play. Nako does not speak Mandarin. It's good to know. And so we're going to be interested to see what kind of picks we have here. Malcolm was very, very powerful last game, and we're just going to see if they go for him again. He was not banned. They did ban the Pharaoh, which was quite important in their mid-game team fight winning. So that's not a surprising ban to see. They did keep most of their bans kind of consistent from Game 1 to Game 2, and so far we have some really interesting picks. On Team ELMO we have Bubbles, Torturer, and Behemoth. Torturer was really powerful last game on tanks, did quite a lot of work in their tri-lane, and so I'm not surprised to see him be picked up by ELMO this time. If he wasn't going to be banned, they definitely were going to pick him up. And Behemoth is an interesting pick, especially once he gets his Portal Key. He can be quite devastating. I don't think I like Behemoth quite as much as I like Magnus, but I do have Magnus over on the Hellborn team, and so he's a suitable replacement. And then the Legion team is rounding out their picks with Pyromancer and Defiler. Definitely interesting team. I'm not quite sure how the lanes are going to go. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Move over to the Hellborn team for now. They do have Thunderbringer, which is quite often banned. It's going to be interesting to see him actually play this game. Flint Beastwood, Witchslayer, Magnus, and they're currently doing their last pick. Right now they have Aluna right-clicked. Aluna is a really great hero. I'd like to see that. She's really interesting because when she first came out, a lot of people thought she was garbage. Myself included, I'm guilty as charged. I thought she was pretty bad. I really wanted to make her work. I tried a couple things, and she just wasn't clicking for me. But we've seen her played a lot more in competitive play. She's been really effective. They actually do switch it to Soul Reaper, which is an interesting pick. It'll really help them get down some of those, I guess, Defiler later in the game, when she gets quite tanky. It'll be really effective to have that ult on her again. Soul Reaper is also a really great farmer. I'm not super confident in that pick, but we'll see how they play it. Maybe they have a plan that I don't know about. So it'll be interesting in the lanes. We'll probably see some kind of Flint Beastwood tri-lane probably with Magnus and Witchslayer, and then Soul Reaper and Thunderbringer being the solos. It'll be really effective. It'll be interesting to see how they build the Soul Reaper, if they go with the mana return or if they just go with the aura. I really like the mana return on a farming Soul Reaper. It gives her a ton of spammability. We'll just have to wait. So we're getting into the game. It'll be fun to see how they do it, where they send their tri-lanes, and how they match up. Again, this is Game 2 of a best-of-3 series, and Tanks in Real Life is up 1-0. We see a quick clutch ping right here. This is where the action is. Oh, just kidding. Action's right here. I actually wonder if that means that they're going to be going for a level 1 gank against mid. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Thunderbringer getting early Chalice items. Flint Beast with nothing yet. Magnus getting the wards, and then your standard minor totems and regeneration. This is a really good set of items for a support player. If you're playing something like Magnus, you know, you really kind of want to have that mana regen so you can use your stun a couple times in lane, and a few minor totems are always great to round off your set. Soul Reaper is going to be looking to go for an early Ring of the Teacher, as well as lots of regen. No mana regen. You don't really need to spam that heal often early games, just it's not that effective at low levels. Flint Beast would also look like he's going to get a Ring of the Teacher. It gives you a lot of really great mana regen. Pretender's Crown is probably good. It'll give him a little bit of HP, agi, and mana, which is, you know, good. He needs kind of all three of those on that hero. And we do see the tri-lane going top for them, as well as the tri-lane going top for Legion team. We do have a Torturer, Pyromancer, and Behemoth tri-lane. That'll actually be interesting to see because, you know, I can see any of those heroes kind of being the focus of the farm. You know, you get an early Portal Key on Behemoth, or you get a lot of early, I guess, Portal Key again on Pyromancer, or just, you know, early Steam Boots and all that fun stuff. Or, you know, Torturer is also really effective with farm. The trouble I see is that all three of these heroes are also really good with levels, and if none of them are getting it, it could be quite messy. It does look like they are going to go for a level 1 gank right here on mid. This could be really, really effective, especially with those heroes in particular. I'm not sure that they need all three heroes. That's the one thing I would say. I don't think they need all three. They could have one in lane, giving the experience that they need. Also, the Hellborn team does have a ward right here, so they will know fairly quickly that something is up. This could be quite deadly. It'll be interesting to see how the fissure lands. Perfect fissure by Behemoth, but do they have the follow-up? Thunderbringer just getting the fuck out of dodge. He is just running away. It does look like he'll be able to get away, and so that does set the Legion team back quite a bit. The flaw in their plan is, of course, this giant hallway of escape right here. And so they put their tail between their legs and they walk up to the back to the top lane, where we do see Flint Beastwood is just free farming early, which is really great to see. You know, he's probably going to get that Ring of the Teacher really quick, which makes him a little bit more beefy, a little bit harder to kill. Gets that really great mana regen, lets him use his nuke quite effectively as well. It will be pretty fun to see. On bottom we have Bubbles going up against Soul Reaper. That's probably a good matchup for the Bubbles. You know, he has a lot of mobility. If anybody is going to get a kill in this lane, it's going to be Bubbles. I'm not saying it's going to happen. Soul Reaper is quite hard to kill. She does have a really spammable heal. But if somebody was going to get a kill, it would probably be the Bubbles, unless Bubble massively overplays on the Soul Reaper. And then mid, we do have the Thunderbringer against the Defiler. Defiler, not a pick we see a ton, but she is really effective at pushing towers. They could have a fairly powerful pushing team, especially if Torture ends up getting Impalement at some point in the not-too-distant future. And Defiler going ahead and just spamming away at these early waves. She doesn't have any mana regen, and she doesn't have enough for her bottle. She's not even, she only has about 100 gold, so she won't be able to spam on the next wave or two, but hopefully she can still get that, because it's not that hard to outlast hit a Thunderbringer. One thing I will mention is that Thunderbringer did go 2 in the Blast of Lightning right off at level 3. You can get that Lightning Rod at level 2 or level 3, and it lets you do a little bit of extra damage while you're spamming your Chain Lightning, because, you know, he's not going to be able to spam his Blast of Lightning right now or any time before level 4 anyway. And so you want to always kind of optimize your skill build as much as you can. That's just a little optimization you can make. We do have the ward spawn bottom. It's an illusion rune. Neither of them have their bottle yet, but they'll definitely be wanting to look for that at some point. It does look like nobody has any wards as far as vision on the rune, so we do have a creep block here. It must have been late, obviously, because they were trying to gank mid, so they didn't actually block the first spawn. That's not too big of a deal. You don't really want to pull with one spawn anyway. Let's see what the creep farm looks like early. We have a 3 and 4 Flint Beastwood. Not quite as high as I thought it would be. It's still pretty solid. Up against who is farming in this bottom lane? It looks like Pyromancer is the farmer of choice. He does have a Ring of the Teacher done. He's getting a pretty good farm. He is, where is he at? He's 7 and 2, which is definitely not too bad. And these stunners are playing a little bit more aggressive on them. Behemoth's not the best spot in the world, but it looks like he won't get found. At the bottom lane right now we have Bubbles. He is a 5 and 9 creep score going up against this Soul Reaper, who is 5 and 2. So Bubbles definitely winning the lane so far. He does have very slightly higher base damage than the Soul Reaper, which is good. And his attack animation is probably a little bit better. Soul Reaper has quite a bit of wind-up on hers. We do see a little bit of action going down here on top. Nobody going to die, nothing. Magnus getting a little bit low on HP. He's going to pop that health pot and the mana pot as well. Get enough mana for another stun. Magnus stun's really, really important to level up. As you level up, the range is just a huge change. It's a little bit bigger than most people would think. And we do have a pause. This is, of course, a live cast. I'm going to be putting it up as Vaz because I didn't have a delay set up at any time. I didn't want to not cast it because I didn't have delay set up, so I'm just recording right with Fraps. So we will have just kind of sit here throughout this pause, but that's okay. Hopefully it won't be too long. We have Thunderbringer Illusion, so he was able to get the rune. And he's definitely going to go for a chalice right after this, and then he'll be able to spam his nukes quite efficiently onto the Defiler. I do have a NVIDIA crash. Oh, that's fun. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Fix yourself, NVIDIA crash. Dear S2, if I could take a minute, have a little heart-to-heart chat with you. I love you. I do. Don't get me wrong, but please bribe NVIDIA to fix this. Please. It's so painful. It hurts me. It hurts my soul. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and restart HoN because it looks like it's not going to fix. I'll go ahead and start the recording after the pause ends, so we'll get right back into the action. Alright, and we are back. Sorry about that. We did go ahead and just skip the pause. As I was saying, we are going to see Thunderbringer get an early chalice here. He is going to get this double damage rune. If Torture doesn't stop him, Torture is probably just going to grab it and leave. Actually saving it for the Defiler. That's really intelligent. That's a good move. Gonna let her refill her bottle. Gonna let her survive in lane a little bit longer against this Thunderbringer. Because, you know, if he gets that rune, which if Torturer didn't leave, he would have easily gotten that rune. He's able to spam so much more on this Defiler without any bottle charges, and the lane actually changes significantly. So it's actually a pretty big deal that, you know, somebody just says, okay, we're fine in this tri lane, I can afford to leave. Now, if the Hellborn team had known that and had capitalized really heavily on the Pyromancer or the Behemoth, that would have been a really good play by the Hellborn team. But of course, they didn't know. I don't necessarily think they knew. Actually, they should have known. I think that's probably would have seen him. But in any case, they didn't manage to capitalize on it, and so Defiler manages to stay in this lane against Thunderbringer, who actually does walk back to the fountain. I don't think I like that. You can ferry your bottle pretty effectively, and just it's only 2 charges, but it's still much better than walking back to base and losing this much experience. You can see he's only level 5. Defiler is level 6 already. He lost quite a bit of experience during that walk. You never want to do that if you can avoid it. And so we don't have any kills yet. No bloodlust kill left. Yet here, a little bit over 5 minutes into the game. Flynn's getting a little bit of levels. It should be interesting to see. Maybe once we get a little bit higher in the levels, this tri-lane could be quite deadly. You know, we have a Torturer, Pyromancer, Behemoth. They're able to lock down people fairly effectively if they time their stuns correctly. And they could definitely get some kills there coming up. We are approaching the 6-minute mark, which will mean the 6-minute rune will spawn. It'll be interesting to see. Oh, Defiler wasn't going to die there, Thunderbringer. I'm not sure about that, buddy. Not too sure about that, but I will kind of force Defiler to maybe not go after this rune, which is bottom. Defiler is just going to go ahead and go. These spirits should heal her, I believe, before she gets there. You can see 1 second. They actually just added a timer to that ult, which I really like. And we do see the bloodless kill up here. It looks like they will actually get a counter kill, which is nice. But Torturer does go down first for the Hellborn team getting the kill. Magnus actually going on here. Will they get another kill on Pyromancer? Wow, that's actually pretty important. Really great job by the Hellborn team. A really great job of this Magnus, knowing that he could still go, still chase, and get that kill on the Pyromancer. Really effective. We are seeing Witchslayer kind of roam towards the middle and then walk away. Thunderbringer didn't actually manage to get a kill on the Defiler. But Defiler did obviously get the rune first. Again, it's really dangerous to go for the runes with that low of HP. He might have wanted to just go ahead and concede the rune and then ferry himself, you know, his bottle back and forth, maybe bring a health pot rather than going through all that. We do some really aggressive action here on the Bubbles. Bubbles does manage to get Soul Reaper. Just like I said, if you're going to see a kill, it's going to be on this Bubbles. You know, he has that ability to really dive people, really use your nuke, get beyond them, and then you can auto-attack as they try to run away. It's a really effective combination. We do have another pause by Team ELMO. Hopefully they'll be able to resolve the whatever problem it was soon. We do see early Mystic Vestments on Defiler. That's a really great pickup. I'm not sure about finishing the power supply that early. I don't think you need to spend the gold on that when you could be spending on other things, getting your boots a little bit early. It probably won't be over 10 charges, to be honest with you, at this point in the game. Thunderbringer spams quite a lot. I'm not sure he spams so much that you can't afford to use your mana battery before it's at 15 charges. Again, you have to be really important. You have to be important. You have to really focus on important little optimizations like item build order and things like that. Especially when you get to a level where you're, you know, playing in the finals of an open tournament. It's 1850 and lower, but 1850 is quite up there, and Team ELMO does have quite a few people right there at the brink of that level. You have to really do these little optimizations to get yourself ahead, because things like just outlast hitting aren't as easy as they are, say, at 16 or 1700 rating, where it's quite easy to win based purely on the kind of broad, big brush stroke kind of stuff. So we have Behemoth here, no items so far. Pyromancer is farming quite effectively. He has his boots, he has his Ring of a Teacher. Sorry, I don't have the sets panel open right now. We do have Bubbles with a 24 and 17 creep score. That is quite a big deal. That's a ton of denies, actually. That's a lot of denies. Soul Reaper only at 15 and 5. He is level 6 versus level 7. Bubbles, that's not surprising with all of those denies. We do see Torturer up here top, does have quite a few denies. He is at, where was it, 15 denies, which, you know, is really effective for that support hero. We do have a slight goal lead in favor of the Hellborn team, and a slight experience in the Legion team. Again, neither of those are a big deal, and all that fun. Hetsuma actually commenting that they didn't do the bans necessarily from the last game. They didn't ban Malakin just to stop them from picking it up or anything like that. But yeah, they did pick up the Torturer. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where the game goes from here. No team is too far ahead that it's any kind of a big deal. He is restarting his computer, which is fun for everyone. I might edit this part out, so I can talk shit right now. I can do whatever I want. I might forget to edit it out and then look silly. So I won't talk shit to anybody. I won't. Everybody's playing really great. They're doing super good job. It will be interesting to see when this Defiler chooses to start pushing towers, rather than just kind of hanging out in mid. Definitely if their mid chooses to leave, if Thunderbringer chooses to go gank, that's kind of a good trigger point for